Welcome back to Halftime Report on CNBC TV 18. Well, we may achieve 1,000 crore revenue by 2022. That's the word that's coming in from the MD of Marico. Now, an exclusive conversation with Priya Seth. All right, I think we'll get to that conversation that Priya had with the management of Marico. For the time being, I think we have the management of Century Ply that joins us on the phone line. Mr. Bhajanka joins us on the phone line. Hi, sir. Thanks so much for joining in. Well, there are reports that suggest that Action Group, they have taken price cuts on MDF. The price range that they're indicating is around 2 to 3% odd. Any comment on that? Have you taken any kind of price cuts, Keshav?
Action has taken a price cut on certain thicknesses and we have matched them in those thicknesses.
Okay. So you're saying that you have taken a similar price cut?
Yes.
To the tune of?
But it is limited to the same 2 to 3%, but it is limited to a few thicknesses. It is not all across the product range.
Okay. So what impact do you foresee this will have on your EBITDA? EBITDA should be lower, right?
I think that we will definitely have double-digit EBITDA. We are looking at close to 10 to 12% this quarter. I think it might even be higher. The capacity utilization is increasing. So yes, there is certain pricing pressure, but I think despite that, our EBITDA is likely to be higher this quarter.
You said 10 to 12 for this quarter.
Yes.
What about for the full year?
Earlier, I think it was close to 8 to 10% for the previous quarter.
No, as in FY19 EBITDA growth?
Pardon? I couldn't get you.
The EBITDA margin is what we're asking, Keshav.
Yeah, EBITDA will be 10 to 12% plus in this quarter. And the next quarter, it should look higher. 10 to
12%. You know why we're asking you this? Because earlier when you joined us, you told us in the second half of the year, the margins will be better than the first half of this year. So expecting quarter 4 to be very, very good. That is the result, that quarter 2 margins look much better than quarter 1. The second half of the year looks much better than the first half of the year, in spite of these price cuts?
Yes, definitely, because MDF is only one part of our overall business.
Right.
Now, we have 3 different segments. We have plywood, we have laminates, and we have MDF. In laminates and in plywood, we have already taken price increases, and as such, I'm sure that going forward, as the cost pressures ease up, because as you know, crude has broken substantially. Yeah. So with 30% drop in crude, that effect will be felt on raw materials such as phenol going forward.
Sure.
We've already seen the impact in raw materials such as melamine, and we are sure that even phenol will be falling over the course of next year. The raw material pricing pressure easing out, and with the price increases that we have taken, both plywood and laminate should have a good EBITDA margin going forward, or a higher EBITDA margin going forward. This coupled with higher capacity utilization in MDF and a very strong capacity utilization in particle board.
Okay, what is your capacity utilization in MDF and particle board? Can you hear us, Keshav? Okay, I think we...
All right, I think, Keshav, can you... is our voice reaching you?
Yeah, the voice is reaching.
You can hear us clearly. All right. So, you know, what we are trying to ask you is, in terms of MDF prices, they have been cut by 2 to 3% recently. But in the last 1 year, how have prices moved of MDF?
I think prior to this, there was a 5 to 6% fall over the course of the past 6 months. So overall, I think the cumulative impact would be somewhere between 7 to 8%.
7 to 8%. All right. And give us some more color in terms of your MDF business. What is the current capacity utilization levels? I'm looking at it in the second quarter, you did around 60 crores of revenues. Where do you see this number going to?
It will be substantially higher. I think this quarter we'll be at 75 crores plus.
Okay.
And going forward, you see what has happened in MDF is there's oversupply in the market.
Right.
So whenever there's oversupply in a sort of commodity product, there's going to be pricing pressure.
Right.
Now the market is growing at 20 to 25%, and there are no new major capacities that are going to be coming in.
Okay.
So I am sure that FY20 is going to look very different to the current financial year.
Capacity utilization level, Keshav, is what we're trying to get at.
Yes. So capacity utilization in the next quarter is likely, in the next year, is likely to be 85 to 90%. And this quarter, capacity utilization should look at around 75%.
Okay. So oversupply in the MDF market should get corrected, self-corrected by FY20, according to you. Also, if you could just tell us about the plywood market, you know, what have been the volumes so far in Q3 for the full year? And also your decorative ply volumes were under pressure in the prior quarter. Your commercial veneer volumes too were down more than about 40-odd%. Has there been a recovery?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? There's a lot of interruption in the telephone line.
No, so what my colleague Rima is asking you is that in fact there was a bit of a glut in terms of commercial, veneer as well as decorative ply in the second quarter. So what we're trying to get at is, has the situation improved? Because now we're almost done with the third quarter.
Yeah. You see, in the commercial veneer segment, earlier we were sourcing commercial veneer from our units in Myanmar and in Laos, and alongside our own consumption, we were selling this to the market, the C and the D grade. Now, the quantity that is being imported from our own units has reduced drastically because of pricing pressures and because of the export ban in Laos. As such, we are sourcing our own raw material from the market to a large extent. And because of this, the sale of the C and D grade veneer to the market has reduced. However, this would never contribute anything to our bottom line. This was a byproduct of the main raw material that we are sourcing. And since we are now sourcing lower cost raw material from the market, I believe that our margins in plywood should actually improve.
Okay, and improve to how much? And what will be your plywood volumes on the whole for the full year?
I think that we should look at around 16% EBITDA margins for plywood for the entire year. And I think that over the last year, we can look at a 10 to 15% growth in plywood volumes.
All right, just trying to derive the numbers that you can do from your MDF business, Keshav, for FY20. You said you're at around 75%. You're looking to go to 85 to 90%. So that would be roughly around what? Around 320 crores for FY...
350.
350 crores is the number you're looking at. Final question in terms of your cash conversion cycle. I think it had moved to around 72 days from around 62, 63 days. What's the outlook there?
I think the cash conversion is primarily going to be similar. You see, there was an impact because the rollover of LCs was actually stopped. So because of that, we had to take a change in our import policies. Now, I think we are at a stable condition. I think that cash conversion cycle is going to be within 70 days going forward.
Keshav, thank you very much for joining in, and season's greetings to you and everyone at Century Plyboard as well. So the company has reacted to competition. A Long Action Group had initiated a price cut of about 2 to 3%, and Century Plyboard has also taken a price cut of 2 to 3% in the MDF market. And the key reason for that has been oversupply, which should correct itself in FY20. We'll slip into a very short break on that note. Up next is promised that exclusive conversation with Saugata Gupta, the MD of Marico, on the growth outlook for the company going ahead. Stay tuned.